Assalamu alaikum and good morning to all my dear students who are here, who are in the class. I hope that you all are well and fine and everybody is getting my voice properly now. Is my voice clear now, students? Okay. So let's start our class. As you all know that this is your teacher, Ms. Zunaira, and I am your social studies teacher. In the class, we have started a revision, okay? But here we are going to conduct our last class of the previous chapter or the continued chapter, which was sources of energy. Natural resources of energy, okay? It was natural resources of South Asia. Okay, so here it comes. The chapter which we started was Natural Resources of South Asia, in which we had learned about many of the natural resources of South Asia, right? So this is your chapter number 5, and it is on page number 44 of your social studies book. Class, in the last class, we have learned many of the things. As it is on page number 44, we started learning this chapter and we had learned about many of the things. Like we had learned about the forest of the South Asia, in which we had learned about 4 types of forest in South Asia. Then we learned about the importance of forest. Okay. Forests are very useful for us and it is the source of many of the things, okay? Afterwards, we learnt about water resources that we call as irrigation as well. In irrigation, we had learnt about irrigation in India and Pakistan, okay? Afterwards, we learnt about the irrigation in Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, and we came to know over there that there is no scarcity of water in Sri Lanka and Bangladesh as they receive heavy rainfall. Okay. One thing we should keep in our mind is that we use fresh water. We use fresh water for all the purposes, right? We use fresh water for all the purposes, for taking bath, for drinking, for giving the water to our crops, okay? For every purpose, we use fresh water. So whenever we talk about irrigation, it means we are concerned with mostly river water and streams water, pond water, okay? Other than ocean and sea, every water body we find around us is the fresh water. Please, beta, switch off your camera, Iman. Switch off your camera. After that, we started learning about agriculture. In agriculture, we learned about the types of crops and we came to know that there are 2 major types of crops, and these are cash crop and food crops, right? In food crops, we see many of the examples, and in cash crop, we came to know about the examples, and the most well-known examples are cotton and jute. With this, we learned about different crops that require a lot of water. Every crop is having different, you can say, different needs. Okay, some of the crops are there that require a lot of water. Some of the crops require only a little amount of water. Okay, and they grow on the dry land like cactus that grows on uh, in the deserts, right? Afterwards, okay, I'm going to repeat few of the important things that tobacco is grown in South Asia, especially in India and Pakistan. Tea is grown mainly in South Asia, South India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. Okay, these countries are famous for their tea gardens. Afterwards, what have we learned? We learned about the methods of agriculture. In methods of agriculture, we have learned 4 different steps. Number 1 is preparing of land. Number 2 is sowing of seeds. Number 3, looking after the land. Number 4, and the last is harvesting, which means cutting out of crops. Okay, and there are problems as well. And what kind of problems are there? Loss of water. Okay, loss of land, scarcity of water, and poverty. We learned about them. Today we are going to continue our chapter from livestock. Okay, I have taught you livestock in class as well. Those were absent or they are requested to please pay attention very properly. What does livestock mean? Livestock means sheep, goat, cows, buffaloes, camels, etc. usually kept on the farm. It means we can say that livestock are basically the farm animals. Okay, why do we include these animals to why do we include these animals in our this chapter, natural resources of South Asia? Because these kind of animals are the resources of some of the things, and they provide us milk, meat, wool, and hide. What is the hide? Hide is a word that we are using for their skin. Okay, so we can call their skin as hide. Okay, all these things we use in our daily life. Not in our daily life we use milk and meat, but wool is used to make clothes and for different purposes. So in short we can say that livestock means farm animals that include sheep, goat, cows, buffaloes, camels, okay, which are kept in the farms. In livestock, we we collect or we gather the animals, we keep them in a farm, and we let them reproduce so they can increase their number. Okay, and we can get more and more milk, more and more meat, more and more wool and hide. Here come some of the examples. Okay, in the background you can see the farm. We can keep these kind of animals in our farm. We can let them reproduce so they can increase their number. Okay, afterwards here comes poultry. What does poultry means? Poultry means keeping and reproducing chicken in great quantities for their eggs and meat. Okay, many of the students answered me in the class when I asked them that what does poultry means. They said it means chicken. But this is not justify, this cannot your answer cannot justify the proper meaning of this word. Okay, so you have to answer properly by saying poultry means keeping and reproducing the chicken, keeping them and letting them reproduce so they can increase their number. So that is why we can get the more number of eggs and meat. So poultry means keeping and reproducing chicken in great quantities for their eggs and meat. Yes, many of the students are telling me on the chat. So that's very good. You have learned this chapter very well. Okay, this chapter is included in your midterm as well. So you have to learn it very properly. After poultry, okay, beta. In poultry, there is another thing which is which is which is called as shower chicken or the white chicken. What is this? This is a kind of technique that has been introduced in this region in the 20th century. Okay, a specific kind of feed is given to the chickens, and they grow early. Afterwards, we have fisheries over here. Okay, first we learned about livestock, then poultry. Now here comes fisheries in front of you. What is it? It is the major occupation in Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Maldives. Pakistan, fish and rice are the staple food of most people in that century. In Pakistan, fisheries have suffered from the lack of development, and dams have restricted the movement of fish in the river while population in sea is suffering from pollution. As I told you in the class as well, first of all, we should keep this term in our mind that fisheries simply means fishes. Okay, we do not get the fish by direct going to oceans and seas. Okay, we go to the markets, we get the fish from there, but fishermen catch the fishes. right? This whole process is known as fisheries, and this is a major occupation in not only Pakistan but India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and Maldives as well. Okay, fish is being the staple food for most of the people. Okay, it, yes, we can keep the yaks in farm. Okay, dams have restricted the movement of fish in the river. I told you in the class one thing, that fisheries or the fish, we can get the fish from sea plus river. If we are suffering from scarcity of water, so it means scarcity of water is indicating the shortage of river water that we use for different purposes. We do not have a scarcity of seawater, we have a lot of seawater. Okay, so if we see the process of fisheries from river water, so of course we are suffering from a problem which is known as a scarcity of water, due to which the movement of fish in the river has restricted now. But we have a lot of seawater and we can get many of the fishes from there, but still there is another problem, which is pollution. Our sea is suffering from pollution. Our sea is suffering from pollution, so the life inside the sea is also suffering from pollution. So the population of fish in even seawater as well, it is also decreasing due to the pollution. So their population is highly affected by the pollution. Now here comes wildlife. After learning livestock, poultry, fisheries, we learnt about wildlife, that indicates wild animals, of course. Okay, the animals that cannot live with human beings usually, they are called as wild animals. In old days, people used to hunt them for meat and skin, or sometimes for fun. It was a mistake. As I told you in the class, okay, people used to hunt it for their skin and their meat. Ajwa, switch off your camera. Okay, so that was okay. But sometimes people hunted them for their fun. So this was a major mistake. All living creatures have right to share this planet. Medicines can be made from them. Okay, if we think that we do not get any kind of benefit from wild animals, so it is not so better. It's we get many of the medicines from them. Okay, most famous wildlife of South Asia includes ibex, snow leopard, and blue buck. There are some other examples in your book and you have to memorize them, right? So wildlife, if we talk about wildlife, it means we are talking about wild animals. Wild animals, if they are giving us benefit, so that's good. But if they are not giving us any benefit, so that doesn't mean that we have been given right to kill them. No, not at all. Okay, if Allah has created them, it means they have the right to share this planet, right? And apart from this, we get medicine from them. Now here comes minerals, which is probably the last topic of your chapter. Minerals are solid substances that are present in nature and can be made of one element or more elements combined together. Chemical compounds, maybe you have learned in science. Gold, silver, and carbon are elements that form minerals on their own. Where are minerals found? If we want to describe the minerals, we must know, in simple words, we can say that minerals are the substances that are found underground. But we can make our definition more authentic by saying useful substances. Okay? So, what are the minerals? Minerals are the useful substances that are found underground. Useful substances that are found underground. Everybody must know about it. Okay? Minerals are found in nature underground. Minerals are not made. Okay? They are not human made. Some minerals are found in ore. What is this ore? Ore is a stone that contains useful mineral. Okay, for example, we say that diamond is a mineral, right? But diamond is not found uh, we cannot get the diamond that we use in a jewelry. We cannot get that diamond directly. We get the diamond or different minerals in the form of ore. What is this ore? This ore is a stone like structure, okay, from which we take out our useful things and we remove useless things, okay. Because if we find something from underground, so it is not important that it is present in the same form that we want to use. No. For example, if we talk about coal, so coal is not used as it is formed underground. No, we take them, we crush them, we wash them, then we use. Okay, so initially many of the minerals are found in the form of ore, that is a stone like structure. Okay, so what are the minerals? Minerals are the useful substances that are found underground. Okay, and they include a wide range of things such as gold and silver, which are the precious metals. I gave you the example in class as well, that minerals or the useful substances that are found underground can be stone, these can be metal, these can be eating salts, and even this can be gas or liquid as well. Okay, so if we take the example of stone, so that is diamond. If we take the example of metal, so that is gold and silver. Okay, and the building material is the marble. What are all these? These all things are the substance which are found underground, and they are useful for us. We use them for different purposes. Okay, so useful substances found underground are generally called minerals. They include gold, silver, precious stones like diamond, building material like marble, salt, which is edible, fossil fuels as well. Okay, uh, better here you can see that I have written minerals are solid substances, not always. Okay, minerals, okay, most of the minerals are existing in the solid form, but that doesn't mean there is no other form of the mineral. Mineral can be found in liquid as well as in gaseous form. Okay, in gaseous form as well. So here you can see I have written fossil fuels, which include coal, oil, petroleum, and natural gas as well. Okay, and petroleum and oil, we know that these are liquid. So minerals can be hard, minerals can be soft, minerals can be solid, minerals can be liquid. Okay, if we talk about the South Asia, usually found in plateau areas of South Asia. Okay, methods of mining. What is this mining? One thing we have come to know here is that minerals are the substances or minerals are the useful substances found underground. If they're present underground, we have to take them out for the use. Okay? We cannot use them by going down or we use over there. No, we get them out. We get them out, then we use. So there are number of the methods of mining. What is this mining? Mining means to take the minerals out from the ground, from underground. There are different methods which are digging, underground mining, drilling, and dredging. Digging, underground mining, drilling, dredging. What all are these? All are methods of mining. Okay, so which one is the simplest method of mining? Of course, the digging, the first one. Now we are supposed to discuss them one by one. Digging means simply the ground or the surface of the land is dug. What happens in digging? The surface of the land is dug. Okay. Mining is believed to have started millions years ago during the Stone Age, even when people started digging for special kinds of stone. People in Stone Age, they started digging the ground. Why? For different purposes to get different stones. Then they got many useful things from underground. Then they came to know that there can be more and more useful things underground which can be found. So we can say that digging is the oldest plus simplest method. Why we are calling it as simplest method? Because no machines are used. It is simply digging of ground. The ground or the surface is dug in it. Okay. So this is the simplest method of mining in which the surface is dug and minerals are pulled out directly, not by using machine. Okay, the minerals are pulled out directly. What is underground mining? Underground mining is the second method of mining in which people go down. People go to the mines and they get the minerals and they take them out. Okay, so if we talk about it, this is one of the most common method used today, but it requires a lot of effort. Mines are dug underground and people have to enter them in order to obtain the minerals. Okay, so we can say that this type of mining has also been used for a very long time. The third one, which is drilling. I explained in the class what comes in your mind first when you see this word drilling? Of course, the drill machine that we use normally for making holes, right? So, what happens in drilling? In drilling, this is the third method of mining which involves drilling. What happens in it? Deep, narrow holes are drilled into the ground and liquid minerals, especially which one mineral? Liquid minerals are liquid minerals such as petroleum or the oil are sucked out using pumps. Wells instead of mines are used in this method. Uh, the first example of this method in history was perhaps the common wells that were used for pulling out water. Many of the students are joining class now. Beta, why you are so late? Okay, beta. So what we have learned in drilling, we have learned that as we learned, not all the minerals are solid. Some of the minerals are liquid as well, like petroleum and oil. Okay. So what happens in drilling? In drilling, we get these kind of minerals, the liquid minerals out from the underground, and we use pump for them. Okay. The last one is dredging. The last one is dredging, and it involves bringing up minerals from under the ocean beds. Hmm. Okay. Okay, beta. One thing I forgot to tell you in the class is it is also known as offshore mining. Offshore mining. Okay. The second name of dredging is offshore mining. It is usually similar to drilling, but may require a lot of effort. Should we start? Okay, let's discuss one more thing, then we are going towards our feedback. Okay, beta, mining is a process which can be dangerous as well because what happens in it, people sometimes go under the ground. Okay, and we know that there is a proper amount or the sufficient amount of oxygen in the atmosphere so we can inhale the oxygen very properly. But if we go underground, so there is insufficient amount of oxygen present there. Okay, so we can get the problem in breathing. Plus, the mines sometimes get collapse. This is very important point you must know. So what miners do? Miners usually they follow some of the precautionary measures. They wear a different kind of dress. They wear the helmet. They are having the torch in their helmets, and usually they. Beta, who is raising hand? So sometimes when they go underground, they are provided with proper facilitation and all these things they have to. Okay, beta. So these are four methods of mining which are practiced in the world. Okay, digging is simply the land is dug, and underground mining, people go underground and get the minerals. In drilling, the pumps are used, and in drilling and dredging, normally the liquid minerals are taken out. Okay, so let's start the feedback. So, beta, tell me the chat box. Can I start feedback from page 44? It means from starting of a chapter. Are you able to answer me? If I start asking from forest to mining? Okay. So, beta, thank you so much. This was all about our chapter. Now we are going towards our feedback.